everybody and welcome back to another Wizzy Welsh fencing vlog. I am currently at the yard and I've got my little Cecils and we're going to show you what we've been up to. So I have joined the Lucinda Green Cross Country Academy and it's called See a Stride. So it's meant to be 28 days and hopefully I should see a stride. So she gives you exercises per week to follow and do, and you're going to see how we did in week 1. So part of my pre-ride routine now is to have the amazing pony pads on Seren. So she's got one on her neck there to help with her, you know, her flexion and everything, just to warm it all up. Then she's got one over her lumbar region and SI region, just to free things up a little bit, and if she's got any mare pains, which she shouldn't, just to kind of relieve them a bit. It's also quite a nice little pre-ride routine, isn't it, Says? Keeps her nice and chilled. So I've got my microphone on, so hopefully this is working, and the other one is. Right, so it is quite windy, but we're not going to jump around the whole course, but I'm just going to use some of Lucinda's tips, so just make things a bit small and just do some floppy canter and whatever else she said. So let's have a go. Ideally I'd have barrels and all sorts and things like that, but I don't at the moment. We do have a full cross country course. It's a B1 too, so we'll get out on that at some point, but for now we're just going to use the show jump arena and show you what it's all about. My mics have gone out of battery, so you're just going to have to do this. Right, okay, so the first thing. Okay, so welcome to VoiceOver Hannah, because the wind was so bad and my mics had died. This is one of the exercises Lucinda gets you to do to work on your balance. So you start in a standing position, just so that you get the horse used to standing and you above them. So I've got to put my hands out to the side and up above my head. What I found from this is that it helps you to ride lighter in the saddle. So obviously you progress to walking, which is so much harder than you think it is. I got a shock. And also trotting, but Seren was just on one, so I gave up. Forget that. She's been in. Okay, so we move on to walk jumping, and this is actually one of my favourite kind of activities that we've done so far. No. So Lucinda gets you to walk into the fence. Not even fast walk, just literally just like stepping into the fence. And the idea is that the horse gets their back end underneath you, and then when you get to the fence or like barrels, you squeeze their sides and try and shoot them to the sky, she says. And what it does is it gets you used to that feeling of being left behind, so that when it actually happens, like we all get left behind, it's part and parcel of riding. But it actually gets you and the horse used to that feeling, so that when it does happen, it's not that big a deal. And honestly, it has been amazing for both mine and Seren's confidence, actually. Like, I think shortly after this, I jumped something a bit bigger and I got left behind, and I was able to ride on without being affected to the next fence. So yeah, it's doing its job. And you'll notice that I do tell her off and get her to step back, because she's walking too quickly and she's rushing. Whereas Lucinda literally wants you to just get them to step forward so slow and then use all their power to ping off like that. That's it. Good girl. Woohoo! Good girl. Right, so the next one's called Floppy Canter. Let's give this a go. So this is basically an exercise where you're in light seat and the horse takes off, or it takes off basically. See how we get on with this. So Floppy Canter requires a lot of trust in your horse, and Seren took full advantage of me not holding her. So yeah, the whole point is kind of showing you that the horse can take, like, they can judge their
takeoff point.
Why do you do that?
It's not up to us, like it's up to the horse. We just have to get them to the fence properly.
Jesus. Sharon, you get Sharon, you get just steady. Yee. Hey. No. I don't like Floppy Canter.
Yeah, connecting two in a row in Floppy Canter was definitely not my best idea, and it is what Lucinda gets you to do, and she gets to do it on a cross-country course, but it's just not, it just wasn't the right time to do that with Seren. So yeah, we came into this one and she came flying around that corner. I thought she was going to go for a long one, then she dropped in for a short one, and then she jumped the second time, lovely. And then we called in the reinforcements, so the lovely Bonnie and Leah from our yard helped and filmed this. So this was just popping a cross pole out of Floppy Canter, and you'll see that it was much better, much more controlled and relaxed, and Seren kind of got used to the feeling that I'm not always going to be there. Like, my hands aren't always going to hold her together. She has to kind of hold herself together, and you can see that she does kind of get the picture as it goes on. You can actually see on this rein that she kind of takes off at the same point as the last time, so you can see how just letting her canter into the fence, it's like canter, 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 canter thing really helps. Okay, on to jump to straight line halt. Now, I knew this was going to be a challenge because Seren is feeling very, very good at the moment, and she is very opinionated. She doesn't like me telling her to whoa. As you could see there, she straight away shoved her head down and was like, no, I would like to gallop off now, please. So the idea of this is, it's actually really clever. So you jump a row of fences or a fence, and afterwards you are to do a straight line halt. Now, it's really important that you get the horse to kind of listen really quickly and to get straight, so it gets their hind end underneath them. It's also really important for the rider to sit up, so that when you're jumping, so say you're in a cross-country canter and then you're heading towards the fence, it's so that you sit up, the horse senses that you sit up and then sits their bottom underneath them so they prepare to jump. She's so clever, honestly, so clever.
Getting there.
Good girl.
So she started to kind of get the gist of it a little bit, but then Bonnie was really clever and suggested, why don't you train her a voice cue so that she understands to, like, listen. So we did it the next time. My attempt at whistling is absolutely diabolical, but it did have a slight better effect. Don't know whether you noticed, but I stopped overriding and just sat and waited for the fence. And this is probably the best result I've had so far. See what you think.
I just left her. I stopped chasing. Good girl. Okay, I'm pleased with that. I've had my lovely camerawoman to help me along with this vlog today, so thank you very much. And Bonnie, there she is. That last jump was amazing. She went just so nice. If I could just replicate that for every single fence now and at a show, that'd be great. But I think we're a long way off that, but that was good. Right, everybody, bye! Bye. Thanks for watching!
A new place, a new home for a while. Let me